Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Assassin's Creed Revelations. Kind of surprisingly because I thought we were done, but there's this Lost Chapter, Lost Archive DLC. It's its own separate program, and we're kind of in a weird position because I don't know if I should just create a new game, because maybe I accidentally at some point came in here and already started and will miss a intro point. Or maybe this save file is somehow connected to our save file in the main game. If that's the case, then we definitely want to play on that. So to solve this problem, I'm going to start a new game here, and then I'm going to exit after the first cutscene, after it gives us like control of the character, and then we'll load into this one. As this was loading up, it was saying Clay as a name. So that's like the name of the character we're going to be playing, so it's not going to be an Ezio thing. Abstergo is exported to their analyst program on 17 known test subjects. This is the story of Subject 16, Memory 1. The end is only the beginning. And there's like no audio cues here. See, I just don't feel like I ever walked into something like this. This looks like the Memory Island that we were playing in the main game, except for it's missing quite a bit. So ideally, theoretically, you would assume that this is Subject 16's experience in the Animus before Desmond was ever played in the Animus. Alright, so if I quit now and just press X, A to exit, we now have two save files, and oddly, like, this one is Memory 1. This is somehow tied to your main save file. So you should play the one labeled Desmond, which would have been the default name I got for playing the main game. Seems like music will play in the menu, or it will just start playing completely at random times. Is fine. I'm hitting left bump and right bump and left trigger and right trigger just to make sure that this isn't a complete like copy of the puzzle placing puzzle thing, since we're in this first person perspective instead of the third person perspective that most of the game is played in. Clearly there's some experiments going on here. Nice bright sun. Everything here looks good, it's not glitchy. This does not for a second feel like it's in the Animus. When we hit here, we are in the Animus clearly, but this seems very realistic. Look, there's even water splashing when I walk in the water. This is the kind of sound effects I wanted throughout all of the main game in Assassin's Creed Revelations, and it just wasn't there. And see, this is kind of what I felt like might happen, is that since the Lost Archives are something that they had more time to work on, we may find it out that it's better than all of the main game content. Which then, I don't know why you would hang the main game as an albatross around the neck of this content, other than it has to do with Subject 16. And this does not look like this is walking us into an Ezio style world. It looks like it's taking us through more of these puzzles. Here we have Clay, which I don't know if
we're in agreement. Reach your goal, then get out of there.
Yeah, and here we have, I think his name is John J. Delaney, the actor who played Q in Star Trek. And yeah, I don't think Clay was ever mentioned as his name before this. Maybe somewhere. This isn't incredibly far from what the modern day temples are. We see these modern day temples in Assassin's Creed 3. We don't see them yet. And if you fall, you just reset.
The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters.
So we're seeing some
He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake.
Oh, a funeral.
Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no
for
evil.
a second I wasn't controlling
For you are
him,
with
but
me.
I am.
Your rod and your staff.
And look, it
They
just went
comfort
from
me.
black and white to really.
You prepare a table before me in the presence
that.
of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the day.
Now, when I just clicked in the left stick, it centered my vision. I was hoping it would zoom in. Body of American man found in the river. And this is here. I'm dead. For the most part, that's kind of true. At least in the most simplistic way of looking at things, I'm dead. I can't left stick to go on the eagle vision. None of the face buttons do anything except for A jumps. And so yes, they do want me to jump into my own grave. Look, I even took some damage. And things went black and white again. Am I seeing the ceiling there, or did somebody roll a casket on top of me? I have no clue how long this is going to be, honestly.
And then we all got up and marked our favorite jobs on the board. I'm going to be an astronaut, Dad.
Did you hear your son? The kid wants to be a spaceman.
So, you would have assumed that Subject 16 was raised as an assassin also, and unlike Desmond, he probably was working as an assassin when he was caught. He probably fully was committed to being an assassin. I suppose you could do some slightly more interesting story writing if Subject 16 was just this person who had special DNA that could work in the Animus, and also was not raised as an assassin and just was this huge conspiracy nut. Although it's as equally interesting if you portray Subject 16 as not a conspiracy nut who is then forced into the realization that that many conspiracies do have a thread of truth in them. Yeah, we have a flatline sound, which just still is more environmental sound than we saw in most of the game. So we're walking towards the light. We have a heartbeat.
Clay Kazmarek, few are offered the opportunity I now give you.
So what, he died and then Bill brought him back? Do the assassins have something like the apple that can heal people? And see, I heavily suspect, since this was released later, you're not going to unlock any secrets in this, even though this is very similar to the Desmond extra missions. Yeah, it would feel a little boring if we found a multiplayer emblem to use in this area. I suppose this was the first time we ever needed to jump. The ancient alien temples in Assassin's Creed 3 have more walls to climb on. You're still playing as a third person's perspective. What's funny, there's like the game has so trained us to always jump at pigeon ledges because there's a haystack at the end. It's strange for a game to not have that. It's strange for this element to not honor that. Wow, I totally missed the jump there. I feel like I might get a booby prize here in a second for number of deaths in this simplistic tutorial section. The audio's not playing quite enough to be interesting, and the puzzles are very tutorial-y for a DLC of a game we've already spent 30 hours in. So, like, if this was its own side game, this would make sense, or if this was released before the Revelation was released as a DLC. Hey, did I just go in full circle? Audio is playing.
Prove yourself, novice, and you will be one of us.
So maybe they recruited Subject 16 to be an assassin, but he's not an assassin by birth. But then why does he have that DNA in him with the bleeding effect? That's a cool standard kind of horror movie trope. You walk down a hallway and you find that the hallway's not the same as it was before. And I guess I spoke too soon, because that does seem to strike me as a emblem. So let's decipher fragment acquired. 1 in the area, 1 of 20. Alright, so it's not an emblem, it's something that seems like slightly more important. That being said, I take this with a heavy grain of salt, because as best as I can tell, collecting all the Animus data fragments just gave us a single cutscene at the end of the main game. Boy, is this a slow... Oh man, and I was looking the wrong direction, so now I've got to ride all the way back up. I like the idea of these elements making some sound, some feedback. There's clearly somebody who has a better idea of what audio design should be in a game that did this compared to what was in the main game. Like, unless there was something just wrong with the main game and it wasn't playing audio because of a bug, which that's not much better, or just because it was too quiet and I couldn't hear it. Like, I would have thought I would have heard at least a few sounds more. No, I just really think they ran out of money and time and rushed this game to...
Together we will defend the free will of humanity from those who would steal it.
Well, they rushed the main game of Revelation. So Bill's giving the sales pitch. I don't think I can follow what I'd like to do, which is have been trying to walk through every door backwards. In this instance, I don't think I can do that.
Ability did.
Oh, and this is just this again, isn't it? Oh man. Boy, is this dull. I thought that they would do a little bit different, but no. It's just more of the same. So let's kind of just rush through this. Like, there may only be 4 memories. There may be maybe 6 as most. So we could potentially rush through this whole thing relatively quickly. We did see that there were 20 memory cores, however. Interesting glitch. So they're at least trying to do something different here.
We are not public figures, and never submit ourselves to the hollow quest for fame. We move through clouded spaces.
Yeah, I already figured that out because I'd already done the other element. Is there something I'm missing? I don't think so. There's X to remove block. Interesting.
Beware the easy path. Knowledge grows only through challenge.
And see, we're seeing these crosses, which were kind of indications of Templar elements. There's 4 in this area, 20 in total. And this is just a full-on wall. Seems like there's another way.
You're retiling the roof at noon, Clay.
But I'm working on a history paper.
Let it slide. The foreman's son just finished engineering school and he's pocketing $60K a year. Now that's where the money is.
One assumes that those are the bad things down there. Yeah, I think that's things you're not supposed to touch. The boom 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 of these elements are still definitely need some work. I hear it. I don't see it. Decipher fragment acquired, 2 of 4. I would want to get all of these, but there is also, I suppose, the possibility that I'll just miss something. Like, honestly, Subject 16 could easily have a prequel game that came about. There I just got a Uplay achievement to save myself. There are no more Uplay achievements, by the way, that get you any Uplay buffs.
They will throw obstacles in your path to distract you, but never lose sight of your goal.
Like, I don't think there'd be an easy way to get up that hallway. new. That's clearly something that would have worked better later on. So they're iterating on the ideas that were done. Still, I have a heavy feeling that this should have been. I'm not hearing any jingle, so I'm gonna take that as a note that there's nothing here to collect. Jump up these. And it seems like the laser slowly does melt the atoms. Yeah, if they had released the first set of these puzzles that were that you played as Desmond, and then they're set as playing as Subject 16, I would have been a little bit more gracious with the idea of paying for one of the two expansions that have these elements in them. But I can only do so much to get through here until it just gets melted through. And it only melts one part of the cube. But it seems like the other cubes stay around. There's another thing to collect. Seems kind of easily directly in front of me. I suppose it will be slightly questionable if they can throw something challenging in here, something like a portal puzzle where there might be turrets or elements that really, really hurt you. Maybe, maybe not. This time, it's just timing. Unless the idea is you can place this here, and then let's see what happens. No, it immediately gets destroyed. I thought perhaps you just couldn't place it down while the lasers were enabled, but you could still block lasers. Listening for the jingle, trying to see. Well, honestly, this looks like it can just jump down. And I'm saving myself really for no reason, just to not take damage. Like I could place this to clear the path, and that's what I need to do. I like this idea. I like what's happening here more. It feels like this is more of a learning experience than a challenge, whereas before the puzzles seemed mostly just an annoyance. Here's the thing. Yeah, they've figured out a way to make some challenge here. Let's just see if we can run through it. That was a little too awkward in my opinion. And we've lost all of that voice acting. We've lost the voice acting from Bill. We've lost the voice acting from Subject 16. Like, I really feel like they overpaid the actor. Cutscenes and flashes, and that's cool and all. I'm not 100% sure I went the right direction though. I may have skipped something important. Killing and resetting is a little too much. It takes too long. Was there anything over there? Really? This is a little too precise for my taste. I guess I'm just gonna have to work it in such a way that I know what I'm doing. There's no going over, so we have to go under. If the game ever actually requires me to switch between these two very quickly, I'm gonna find that rather difficult, just the way these things are implemented. And see, when I walk through here, that's gonna give me some like new ability, or this is gonna be a wall, and I'm gonna have to walk over here to activate the switch. I guess it was a wall. And I can't go here because I can't go here. I feel like I may have missed a collectible.
You have proven yourself worthy. Today, commit to uphold the pillars of our creed.
And so here's his initiation in becoming an assassin.
We are assassins.
And so he's gonna take the leap of faith, and then I guess they're gonna skip over the burning of the finger thing because that wouldn't really be very displayable since there's no body here. Leap of faith. Memory thing, and I missed one. So if I was to try and get all of these ciphers, I may have to go back and I don't know, like DNA. I guess we can look at it. Hey, look! At least this DNA, as twisted as it is white. 100% zinc, 90% sync, 0% sync, and there's only 4 more after that, so there's 7. And as far as the rest of the DNA, there's like nothing here. Database, decipher fragments. Each seems like it's just going to be a picture. Voice logs, only a couple of these seem to... Oh, it's just the written version of the voice logs. And there's no inventory or anything like that, so you can't wear different outfits.
Break into Abstergo, gather the intel, and get out.
Abstergo, hold the line. Marnie, can you take my kids tomorrow night? I have a date. Don't say that so loud, I'm at work. But seriously, with my luck, I'll be home by 7. Hold on. Abstergo, can I help you?
So, the idea now is this is kind of modern time and just what Subject 16 was supposed to do and what led him to being captured. Potentially, arguably, Bill might be a double agent for Abstergo. We never really see him at any point. See, I can't control the camera or anything when we get these flashes. And I don't recall Bill even being in Assassin's Creed 3. So if he was there, I was probably scratching my head going, who is this character? Where did he come from? Because I did play Revelations, but I almost certainly forgot everything about it in between the time that Revelations was released and Assassin's Creed 3 was released. Alright, well, what was I supposed to do? I guess perhaps I was supposed to wiggle my way into this section. Of course, this doesn't really have...
For centuries, we've been fighting a war
connection.
against the Templars, a secret society dedicated to controlling mankind. Abstergo is their front, the source of the invisible hand that circles the globe.
What am I looking for?
Alan Ricken's computer. I need more data about a program called the Animus Project.
So they knew something about the Animus Project. And I'm hearing the little jingle. Alright. You come in this section and you can't build. You come out to this section and you can build. And you can get some more height, which then is kind of required to get up to where I need to go. Yeah, I don't fully get how developing something like this for Assassin's Creed does anything for you. This can't be the main gameplay loop. It just can't. Like in the next game, that just won't work. And also, let's see, how am I supposed to get over? I guess I'm going downward. Because I don't see how I get through that section. Like, regardless of how high I might be, I don't see a platform that would let me parkour all the way to that point. So I'm probably just walking through this door. Or jumping this way. Oops. And since you're so limited on the number of these pieces, you're actually well suited to reset anytime you mess up a jump. There is nothing up there. Good. That would not make much sense. And let's just hover up here. Let's see if we're safe. Seems like you're fine to jump down here. These are slightly puzzly ideas, but you could never really make a game like this. There's, what is that game called? Infinicube, Hypercube. There's an indie game where several other elements of a puzzle-ish world kind of plays out like this, and there's some platforming elements, and you can create platforms with a gun that's somewhat similar to this with a lot more added to it, and every single puzzle is like a completely different and completely new concept introduced. But Ubisoft would never create a game like that. In fact, almost no AAA developer would ever create a game like that game. I covered it, but I cannot for the life of you tell me to tell you the name, whether it was Hypercube or Infinicube or something like that. It's something cube, I'm pretty sure. Here's an assassin symbol. And the assassins felt like they just caused me to be trapped. Here we have Cole laughing again, or Clay. Cole. Interesting decision on the name choice there. We're about to get killed. I think you got kind of race here. Well, they're crossing lines here, so I guess at that point, that's where I should have moved. So I'm gonna have to kind of zigzag. That crosses here. Comes here. We're good. Seems like I might be able to just race here if I'm really fast. Got a little greedy. There's no safe spots, but there are clearly unsafe spots. I need to be lower. I need this point to not hit me in the head. Made it. And that put up a barrier. Interesting that barriers don't break the walls. Doesn't seem like there's anything to really do here too much. Except that perhaps I was supposed to land on one of these platforms, but I don't hear a jingle or anything. Yeah, how Subject 16 actually wandered around Abstergo is not being depicted here. It seems like a slightly missed opportunity. We're seeing a lot of assassins symbols that just would not be at Abstergo unless you're trying to make the argument that Abstergo intentionally lied to its own employees to make them think that they were assassins, which isn't a terrible thought. There have been stories I've heard of things like that. Oops, that doesn't work either. You've got to get it on this outward. So you have to kind of loop, jump with some faith. This sort of Rubik's Cube. This is an interesting concept, but it falls apart in Assassin's Creed because if I was playing as Ezio, as any third-person perspective assassin, my first ability would have been climbing up and jumping on ledges. The fact that I can't do that here is the only reason why I can't pull off some amazing moves that I normally would be able to pull off. It's like they're trying to do a reset in a completely different game. Some of these cubes are directly on top of each other. Right next to each other. Some of these cubes are more of a and this is an ability wall, so either way you go, you're going to get an ability.
Ability activated.
So what's our new ability? Press A when standing on the impulse block to jump high. Where is an impulse ball? I feel like I probably was supposed to be facing in this direction. Oh. Interesting. We've got now 3 things we can craft, and we've got a new concept where impulse blocks can be placed, it seems, on connecting white things. Do this and see if we can get up here. Animus memory jump they say. Let's access this and see what that is. Letters. So you'd have to read the letters now. More collectibles. This feels a little too much like some pandering. I'm guessing they want me to jump and actually hit the platform. can get up here, I can get up here, I can get up there. But once I've hit this wall, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to jump from here to there. And we took some damage, but we made it. Fair enough. A little difficult. Yeah, these puzzles could get crazy difficult. And just leave them alone. Let's take a moment to just try not to get lasered. I'm hearing a little bit of a jingle. I suppose with the ability to jump up higher, now you're not forcing yourself into scenarios where you're wasting your time. Let's do this. I could probably do something relatively easy as this. And look at that. Smooth fluid momentum that feels like it was pre-programmed to have smooth fluid momentum instead of it coming naturally. Yeah, I kind of question whether the game there or not. See, as the walls are closing in on me. I gotta figure out where I'm jumping. Or just die. Maybe this is more of an implementation of like I'm not getting that picture. Maybe I'm supposed to do something like this. And what's going on? I jump up. The good news is it seems like the game has given up on the idea of me actually getting crushed. That was false pretense. Oh boy, did that help me. I didn't even see where I was going, didn't have a clue, and it just smoothly moved me to where it wanted me. Is this the only place that we can be? Is there something up here? Wow. Again, the game does not feel like I deserved that. These things don't seem to want to land up. They don't want to. They don't seem like they want to be where you want to be. Instead, they seem like they want to be slightly ahead of you. Let's just come over here. Take this. Seriously? this safely. Jump up here. Collect that. Now we've got everything. And this seems just like an alternate path to where we would have been anyways. Just instead of there. Wow, nearly got my head chopped off. You know, I was thinking, like, I guess I underestimated them a little bit. I would have really bet that they would not have had the skill to develop any kind of puzzles that were like a portal puzzle where there was actual challenges and it was a mixture of platforming and other actions. And they managed to do it. Not, I don't think, as well as Valve did with Portal, but they've managed to make a 7 puzzles here.
Extraordinary. The amount of funding they've put into the Animus project since the 80s. We need to go deeper next time. Find out what Abstergo's really searching for inside our DNA.
So, there's your limiting factor that...
I'm counting on your help, Clay.
That the Abstergo project for the Animus has been going on since the 80s. So, now that you know that, they can never set the... I didn't realize that that wall was even blocked. I just saw this platform and figured it was something to look for. You have a tree with a really poorly animated branch on it. The tree itself looks fine enough. With some pillars and some splashing in the water. It kind of describes why the Animus Island might look like it does.
Ability deactivated.
Darn it.
I got into an engineering program.
That's my boy. Didn't know you had it in you.
Here, look.
This isn't one of the top schools.
There's an amazing programming department.
What is this?
Casmerics build things. They don't sit at a desk.
Here we hear like people gasping behind these doors. Look how small I am too. Like as I went down this hallway, I think the camera zoomed in and put me lower and lower. To try and, I suppose, mentally manipulate me.
Have you informed your colleagues about our sessions?
No.
So he's also under therapy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have half a clue what was real and what wasn't. So slightly crazy, parental trauma, it seems, bad parents, bad dad, and the conspiracies of Abstergo and the assassins. And it's just pushing us forward in a weird way. Like, you would have assumed that there might be a reason to go back to the island, but I guess not. Like, is there even... It's like... Unless going back to Memory 1 takes you to the island, there's... there's no way to get to it. Interesting. And full synchronization, I guess we should check every time we start a new memory to see its forward, decipher fragments, and one letter. We've got about 5 more minutes, so let's do this.
Where's our team being sent?
We lost
Italy,
our
to
ability.
Abstergo's new research facility. I want to know what they're after with the Animus device.
Snow.
Your third teammate has been kept outside the Assassin Order, waiting to be called upon.
The snow pushes things downwards, which makes me have to try and struggle to get up these elements. So I don't know if the mole they're talking about is the girl who's not shown or really referenced, except at the very beginning of the game, the one Desmond was forced into stabbing for better or worse. The game kind of just ignores that plot point.
Lucy Stillman.
Lucy.
She's been trained to infiltrate Abstergo. Since the age of 17, the girl has lived outside our ranks. All her ties to the Assassins have been erased.
See, I just got the right location.
I know you're out there.
It's worth mentioning that Lucy
D-Day is February 1, 2011. You will be caught by their Lineage Discovery and Acquisition Department. They will bring you in as a test subject. Now Lucy will get you direct access to the Animus at night. And once you have enough information, she'll get you out.
Yes, but she doesn't get him out. And when you think about that, that is an argument that maybe she was a double agent. That's 1 of 4. So the ability to bounce is gone, sadly. And now we're just fighting this snow particles that are constantly pushing me in one direction or another. And I guess I wasn't supposed to go down that way. And we're
Welcome
back
to the Animus, Subject 16.
in the main area. So that'd be kind of crazy if you went in the Animus. The window is open this time, so if you can't see anything through it. I'm pretty sure a lot of these graphics were remade, slightly repolished. The Animus would have been right there where the hole in the floor is. And this chair is probably different. Like, we still don't have eagle vision or anything like that. It's possible only Desmond learned how to do eagle vision from his ancestors. So achievement Enter the Animus. And we start to see brain fragments, memory fragments of previous people.
Picture the pages of history, Mr. Kasmeric. They are tattered, blackened, almost
so we don't have time to
useless
like
to all
picture
but
again.
previous, misunderstood, and misused by politicians. But what if there was a way to restore history's luster? To truly know its lessons?
Yeah.
The Animus gives us such a chance.
What are you... really looking for? Last time I checked,
It just
Abstergo didn't
starts
have
the
a history
audio
division.
at the very same spot.
Very astute, Mr. Kasmeric. But we do own an entertainment studio. Perhaps a period drama is in production. Contemplate that while you finish your next session.
So, in a funny way, Ubisoft introduces this joke concept that Ubisoft is owned by Abstergo, and they play with that in Black Flag and continue to play with it all the way to Assassin's Creed Origins, to my knowledge, that the Animus becomes this video game console system, and everybody can use it to play back memories, but not everybody can use it to play back their own genetic DNA's memories. They just can play back memories that have been properly edited and created from people with the special bleeding effect. And then basically assassin DNA that they said only 1 in 10,000 people had that effect. So we have this, and then we have a door. So unless there's some trickery going on, I'm gonna have to figure out a puzzle. Or somewhere around here there's a button that I just didn't see. Well, this one's got me a little bit stumped. And maybe that's the intention. Maybe this is supposed to be find the button. Well, I guess we will find the button in the next recording. If we've done 4 and there's only 3 more, that means that there will only really be an hour more of Assassin's Creed. That's fine. It's very odd that we're ending on something that's not really Assassin's Creed, and it's in a lot more polished and better looking. Sounds a lot better than most of the main game. I don't know why anybody, however, gave the green light to these types of gameplay things. I would have never done it. Not for an Assassin's Creed game, not for a main part of a main Assassin's Creed game. I would have said this is for the indie department, this is for research and development, this is not something that we can sell as Assassin's Creed, because it's just too weird, it's just too different. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.